Right, apologies for the delays there. Had some technical difficulties. Got Madlib here, playing as India, in the yellow trunks at the top side of the map here, up against Kraken, the purple trunks, Babylonian. He's going for really quick hunting dogs here. Madlib's still gathering wood at distance there, so he's got exactly 200. He's able to go for barracks. Very clean stuff there. He's even getting that villager onto the food before that finishes, so really, really tight stuff there from Madlib. And Kraken playing a really greedy start as optimally as he can as well. He's already got hunting dogs finished, so his food gathering will be really, really quite efficient. Particularly, you know, getting early hunting dogs on Babs, just because you're also the Civ with basically no walk time on your hunts. It's really super efficient. Works out being a lot more than just that 10% gather rate, because you got all that extra reduction in travel time. Oh, 2 seconds there. Oh, Madlib, game over. Villager didn't go straight onto the tree. He'll be able to go for a really quick spear rush. Kraken, he'll be able to be quite responsive as he's Babylonian, so he can just always shift from hunt to hunt or onto the berries with minimal loss, you know, unless you actually lose the ox cart. It's not like a storehouse where once you've been forced off it, well, you've now got to put down a storehouse somewhere else. So Babylonian, not a bad civ to try and fight for a quick second town center, even without the spears, I think. One of the safer civs to do so. So cool how when you're mining, there's little chunks of the rock actually come off and bits of dust. HD graphics, bro. Nothing happens to the gold mine though. That's boring. Anyway, the spearmen making their way across. Kraken's been trying to wear one down with his scout, so it's also a good idea. Kraken just making sure he gets as much gathering out of the hunt as possible, because he's got the Age 2, the ziggurat on the way, and he's quite close to the town centre here, so he can cover his villagers quite well. Oh, Kraken, don't send the low villager, send any villager except the low villager to go and take the fight. So he is forced onto the other hunt, so he can get there quicker than Madlib can fight him, because obviously Madlib doesn't want to cut straight across there and take a shitload of damage on his spearmen. So every little bit helps. Oh, there we go. He even micros, and he's going to try and getting 2 spears. That really worked out there for Kraken. That's really smart. Proactive defense. Just try and use the scout, lure the spearmen into your line of sight, focus on the low ones, click them when they're on the edge of the range. So Kraken doing everything right there. Gets the second town center. He is a bit impinged here, like they're pretty close together. But at the same time, this can also help cover the top side of that hunt. And he's also got this one over here. So, I mean, he could have possibly put it on this corner as well. And, I mean, it still covers the gold mine, gives him better coverage of this top hunt. Yeah, I think actually if he possibly snuck it on the corner there, it gives him more coverage than what this is giving him right now. But either way, I think it's a pretty good opening here from Kraken, all things considered, because Madlib is second TC. He's still working towards it. It'll be a little bit delayed. So he's possibly not got the value he was hoping for here, because he has lost a couple of spears. Dealt a bit of damage to the villagers, but he hasn't killed any as of yet. So Kraken just needs to get those villagers in queue, which he's doing so at the moment. So, very good stuff. In fact, he's actually up those 3 villagers as he's Babylonian. India needs to just train the age up, or research the age up, out of the town center. So that costs you 3 villagers, basically. Which Babylonian and Egyptian, you know, because it's a building you build, you're losing a villager for that same time, basically. You know, 50 seconds build time versus, you know, missing out on 3 lots of 15 seconds for your 45-second age up there. So it's pretty much for much there. Although, obviously, it means Kraken hits the ground running with 3 more villagers. And now more than that as well, because Madlib committing to that spear rush, it's delayed his economy a little bit. So Kraken will dip on score and will trail on military briefly for a little bit longer. But and Madlib will be able to actually afford more military production from here, especially because Kraken's committing to these 2 gardens. So these aren't a bad idea. You get 2 or 3 of them and your villager train time speeds up. And your military train time speeds up just a little bit. And they do actually slowly pay for themselves, generating you food. Kraken might have to struggle to maintain good food eco here, because I mean he's on those 2 hunts. This topside one he'll be able to get on pretty quickly. I mean he's going to have lancers, maybe followed up with Bowman, get his own range. Oh, Madlib going to go for Taranga, so if Madlib goes for a pretty quick age 3, he'll be able to fight off these lancers really easily, because Taranga will be able to counter them with their champion upgrade. They trade fairly evenly, and on top of that, having the Taranga makes it uncomfortable for the Bowman addition by the Babylonian player. Because Kraken probably wants to try and skip barracks tech until age 3 if he can do so, because it's just a really efficient way to play Babylonian. You're not having to invest in all this extra, you know, the barracks and the barracks upgrades. You can really just go straight towards getting Lancer Champion, age 3 pretty quickly, get Lancer Champion, get Bowman Champion, and then try and see if you need to add barracks units from there. So the Taranga will be good for Madlib, because yeah, they force Kraken to have to think about adding a barracks next rather than just getting Bowman. Or if he wants to just go for pure Lancer spam, well, you've already got the barracks for your spear production. And spear and Taranga is just going to wreck Lancers. Eventually Taranga will just supersede them once they get that champion upgrade. It's a big commitment to early shrines here by Madlib. And he hasn't actually gone for a temple yet, but I'd imagine once he's got, you know, a handful of cows, he's probably not going to go for the 3rd shrine yet, maybe get the temple first. So Kraken going to try raiding. Madlib going to try scouting out and see if he can go in with an infantry raid. Kraken's just about done over here. Madlib will be able to force these lancers off pretty quickly here. Kraken's just going to have to keep going for now. Oh, don't run into it. Kraken's actually going to try and kite the... even getting a little bit of damage done with the lancer there. Oh, he needs to be careful. He actually could turn and fight this. Oh, but he is going to lose that lancer trying to escape. So I think he probably could have darted back the other way, or just, you know, finished off the spear. Kept doing what he was doing with kiting with the low health lancer, and just tried escaping out this other side. She wouldn't take much damage getting through there. It's a little run by Madlib, but there's a lot of lancers here. So Kraken's just investing in triple lancer production. Now this is pod racing. Because the beauty of these guys is they trade really well even against their actual counter. But this army is a good way of dealing with this. Just a lot of melee, something as fast as the lancers, and then something that trades cost effectively against them. You can add in a bit of range too, but you know, ultimately barracks units are faster, aren't they? Actually, I suppose they're no faster really. Some infantry is quicker, but spears aren't. So Kraken adding armories here. Getting age 3. Madlib still age 2 for the time being. He's trying to harass with a lancer again. But he's ultimately going to lose that little fella. Kraken's age 3 kicking in. Madlib doing a bit of raiding here. Not really getting any value yet. That's a lot of Lancers. 14 versus, what's that, 6 Taranga. But they are even speed, so, and neither unit snares there, so Taranga can just eventually weasel their way out of that one. And your spears in production by Madlib. Still getting a last few sacred cows there. It'll take him up to 11. He wants to add another shrine if he's going to get all the way to 15. I didn't see if he got a... I don't think he has yet. Madlib hasn't yet got a temple. A monastery. It's a good time for Madlib to try and take this fight, but Kraken is quick with a mounted archer transition there, so good stuff from him. He's going to try and do a big raid on Madlib's town centre here. But quick garrisons there. Madlib forced to... Oh, I don't know why he didn't just garrison there. Because he does lose the gatherer elephant. Maybe trying to get Kraken to stay and commit there. So a couple of Lancers getting killed off. Lancers have already got champion here. It's a really good time to take that upgrade by Kraken there. Oh, and he's stealing the sacred cows. Good on you, Kraken. A man after my own heart. So Kraken's on 74 villagers to Madlib's 49. Madlib's really just been trying to max out a massive army here. So army size really favors Madlib right now. Kraken still is controlling all the sacred cows. Madlib seeing them and bringing them back now. Man, that was a hell of a raid. I didn't realize that Eco was so heavily favoring Kraken right now. But Madlib is known to try and get a really big Age 2 army here, although that villager count's even low even by his standards. I mean, Kraken did have the faster Age 3 there, but I don't think he's actually gotten the town centre that much faster, but Madlib's definitely been focusing on military production instead. So you got about 60 army pop versus about 100. So Madlib should really just look at taking a fight here. I know he's probably wanting to get Taranga champ and Bow champ, but just queue him up and push at this point, I think. Just knowing that you've been like sitting on such a large army. In fact, he's probably going to go for it now. It looks like Kraken's going to try and engage on him too. Oh, he's even got Lance already in the mix. So 53 vills to 86 here. Kraken's definitely gathering a lot better at the moment. Madlib getting some armory upgrades. He's already got melee damage and armor from Age 2. Kraken's got plenty of upgrades too. It's just going for more and more of the eco here. So you could catch Madlib in a spot where he just finds it so hard to actually keep gathering and retraining, even though Kraken can't really take a head-on fight at the moment. Although in saying that, he's adding a lot more army now. He's able to just keep replenishing everything so easily. 44 vills for Madlib at the moment. 86 for Kraken. This army is going to get surrounded here. And Kraken is just taking out houses at the other side of Madlib's base for the time being. He's going to run. 43 vils to 88. Madlib with double the army and half the economy of Kraken right now. Kraken's just fighting in as many different spots as he can. His eco's in a wonderful spot. He just needs to maintain a 180 pop. Just keep Madlib busy until he can go to age 4. Because right now Madlib is struggling to actually pay for everything. In comparison, like he's only, 48 villages. Yeah, 88. It's really easy just to keep your opponent busy everywhere. The downside of this though is eventually Kraken is going to have to go to age 4. Make sure he's got the resources to do so and not get caught out with a bad distribution of resources like he sort of has been at the moment. He's got 5,000 wood in the bank, so by now Kraken could be age 4. This is sort of the one downside of this, and he can't really mass up an army to deal with Madlib's forces. Like, he literally needs to delete 20 or 30 villages. Or bring them in. And ideally you don't want to do that, because you need just instant army. You don't want to lose everything. Trying to go for the workshop play. But he's keeping Madlib very busy, keeping all these villagers on the run. Training for the marathon. A lot of eco is going to fall there. But Madlib's army size, once again, I think, is just so tough for Kraken to have to deal with head on. And Madlib, I think he's starting to realize if he just pushes here, he can do to Kraken what Kraken's been doing to him. And the Sacred Cows get stolen again. More villages being picked off. 39 villages, and Madlib has no food in the bank at the moment. His Sacred Cows have pretty much all been stolen as well. But he is going to push. Now this comp is not the world's greatest comp for pushing. There's a lot of bowmen, and the spearmen are an early game infantry. So neither unit's got a great health pool for tanking under 2 town center. And as long as Kraken can mass up enough, you know, chariots or bowmen and lances, he might be able to, you know, pull off a defense here. But he needs to keep Madlib busy at home as well, because Madlib is trying to get past that 40 villager mark. He's on 42 at the moment. Kraken's 86, so the Madlib is a machine at fighting games in this position. That low eco, massive army state. Don't know why he's brought some villagers along. He can't really afford to have some idlers here. Oh, and it looks like Kraken getting a few more kills there. It's going to keep a lot of Madlib's army busy back here too. Just trying to mass up some more cavalry here. He's getting a lot of stables here. He needs, you know, possibly even more than that. But he's just doing really, really well with this Babylonian army. He's kept Madlib back in his base. But now that big resource lead of Kraken's, he's spent a lot of that wood. He got up to 5,000 wood there at one stage, so he's had to spend a lot on production. I think he might have even sold a bit of the wood for gold. And Madlib breathing a bit of a sigh of relief. He's getting more Sacred Cows there. I don't think he realizes that Kraken's all pinched all these, so you know, it is another investment Madlib's having to make, and he hasn't got a lot of food or wood in the bank, so every little bit helps. And then you got the train time of these rather than them instantly generating resources. So Kraken, it's done a lot right this game. It's a shame if he's not able to seal the deal here, but Madlib is again a champion of these massive armies and taking good fights with them. Oh, but Kraken needs to not get kited here. Madlib needs to fight well with these reinforcements. He's got a lot of little one population units here, whereas the chariots are 3 and the lancers are 2. I think Kraken will have enough to defend over on this side here, and hitting broadhead arrows. So the last of his Age 3 armory upgrades. Madlib just needing broadhead arrows and shield trust, so Kraken is up in terms of armory upgrades. Madlib's really starting to trail on score now, so he's up to 63 vils to 92, so it's not as bad of a situation as when it's like 42 to 85. But now Madlib hasn't really got an army. He does still obviously have 60 army pop, but the problem is now Kraken's got 80. So Kraken's been down on army pop for a lot of this while he's been doing the hit and runs, but now if he can bring his whole army together, I think he's actually got the advantage. And he just needs to make sure these guys are doing something. A lot of ranges now in the mix here for Madlib, so they're not as effective against the Lancers as the Bowmen are, but they're obviously way more effective against the Chariots. So some good kiting here by Kraken. Once he wears out all the front line, then a lot easier to get on top of the back line with the Lancers, and gives the Chariots a lot of reprieve. Oh, this is really cheeky. If he can get a couple of buildings down, or a couple of plantations, it could be really quite costly for Madlib, who doesn't have a lot of wood in the bank, mind you. So if he starts losing a lot of houses and a lot of these plantations, it could really starve him out. Kraken's done a really good job with this hit and run. It's on to wall in segments of the map too. Or is he going to get to the plantation there? What's he going for? The town centre. Oh, okay, and he's going to try and raid and snipe more villages. So 65 vils here from Madlib. Kraken with a very impressive bank. Now he's got the problem where he doesn't have enough food, but he's got enough gold, stone and wood to go to age 4 here. Oh, the Lancers are going to gobble up those undefended Bowmen. This Chariots, as long as they can stay out of the range of the Rangers, and pick up a couple more spears here. So Madlib is going to need to try and raid with Taranga or something if he can afford them. But right now he is struggling for food. Adding more plantations as well, so that's eating up his wood bank. He's got plenty of gold. So at this stage he's not even gathering any gold, he's just getting that gold trickle. But he did have to invest in all those extra sacred cows there. The town centre is going to fall. Kraken is still struggling for food. I don't think he realises Madlib's got this wood gathering going on over here. Madlib just trying to bring his whole army together, because he can take some good fights still, as we're seeing. He can control the ranges, he can really thin out the chariot numbers, which he's looking to try and do there, but he just can't get close enough. He's going to pick off that army there. The town centre's fallen, but Madlib still has a lot of these gatherers over here. 70 to 96 gatherers. The shrine's being taken out. Granted, there's plenty of gold in the bank, so Madlib's not so worried immediately about that. But in saying that, the Lancer's picking everything off here. GG. Kraken takes the game. Didn't realise just how many villages Madlib lost at one stage there. And he just never really focused on catching up on it. A couple of times he just didn't produce them as quickly as Kraken. I know Madlib just tends to try and cram out as much army as possible. Because he was really in the lead of army pop for a lot of that. So he didn't get the value he was looking for out of the spear rush, but you know, and he had the delayed second town centre too. I mean, I don't think it was that much later, but that was very impressive stuff from Kraken there. Madlib wanting a rematch. Bit of an upset victory, really, because I mean, Madlib's quite an experienced player, quite a solid player. So really good stuff there from our players, especially Kraken.